Ooh, welcome back to the Boneyard Podcast, everybody. This is your host, Jared Shafit, along with my two friends, Artemis Brower, Chance Scott. Artie, how we doing, my friend?
We're good. We're good. Happy to be back. Chance is here. Looks like the Wi-Fi is working. Everything is straight.
You done fucked it up. You done fucked it up.
There we go.
We're gonna fingers crossed, but we're good.
Awesome. Chance, you had your pool night tonight. How'd that go?
Yep. All went good, and I kicked his ass and got to come home early, so that was a great day.
All the days
Love
work.
it. Yeah, so Chance plays in a pool league. You said Tuesday and Thursday nights.
Yep, Tuesday and Thursdays.
I play in a golf league on Tuesday night, and I started off triple bogey. I picked up after my triple bogey. I was like, I didn't even finish the hole. I was like, oh, this is how this night's gonna go. I ended up like +6 on the night, and I was on fire. I was knocking down 20-foot putts like nothing. I don't know. I almost drove 2 greens. It was insane. Like I don't know. I was like fucking Tiger Woods out there. I don't know.
Let's not go that far.
Just a different skin complexion. Okay. But yeah. Good to have y'all back. Good to be back. We got a good show on tap. Guys, why don't we get into it? But first, let me tell you a little bit about Variety Sports Network. The Boneyard Podcast is proud members of the Variety Sports Podcast Network and Variety Sports Collegiate. Just saw that I've been booked for the Carolina Hurricanes season preview. I mean, it's crazy to think that we're starting to talk hockey previews. So I'm going to be on that. I'm going to be doing the NHL podcast there all season long. We've got our podcast on there. You got all kinds of NFL podcasts, betting podcasts, anything you want. It's right there. Find it at Variety Sports Network. You can look them up on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, type it in, say Variety Sports Network. Lots of great content. Check them out. Check out all the great podcasters there. But we lost Chance again. Number 54.
Damn it. I was not trying to jinx the kid like that. Oh, man.
Number 54, Artie.
I'm going to keep my mouth shut. We're not going to talk about Chance and his Wi-Fi anymore.
You got number 54 for me?
I do got a number 54. This one is near and dear to my heart. He's a Chicago legend. Not too many people know about this guy, but if you're from the city of Chicago, you know who I'm talking about when I say number 54. Outside of the Bears, not talking about the famous 54 for the Bears. Bulls. Horace Grant, longtime Chicago Bull, played on those great dynasty teams in the 90s, 95, 94, 96, 97, 98. Played on those 3 teams with Rodman and Pippen and Jordan. I think he's a Bull Hall of Famer. He doesn't have his jersey retired, but he's a Chicago Bulls Hall of Famer. Won a championship in LA with the Lakers as well, from a first-round pick by the Chicago Bulls. So, yeah, my 54 this week would be Horace Grant. Shout out to him.
Yeah, mine is going to be Goose Gossage. MLB Hall of Famer. Dude had a mustache that belongs in the Hall of Fame. 9-time All-Star, 1978 World Series champ. And won the Rolaids. Yeah.
Say this man's name again. Goose what?
Goose Gossage.
Goose Gossage. That sounds like a brand of sausage, or like something like some sort of brand of food.
Yeah, I mean his name is Rich Gossage, but it's kind of like a Chipper Jones type thing where everybody knows him as Chipper Jones. Artie, could you tell me Chipper Jones' first name?
Nope, could not.
Take a guess.
It's probably something like Samuel or Jonathan or something like that. Michael.
Larry.
Wow. Living like Larry. I
Larry
would never
Jones.
guess that.
But Rich Gossage, Goose Gossage, I mean, pitched in like the 1970s. I believe his last years were in the early 90s. Insane mustache, 124 wins, 107 losses, 41.2 WAR, 3.01 ERA. Yeah, he pitched up until he was 42 years old when he appeared in 3 games for the Seattle Mariners. So yeah, I mean, Goose Gossage. That's my 54.
Nice.
But Artie,
Yes, sir.
let's go through. We're gonna go through the notes here, but we're gonna switch it up a little bit. We're gonna go with basketball first. We were gonna talk some baseball, but maybe we'll let Chance get back on.
Yeah.
The American Athletic Conference announced the conference matchups for the 2023-2024 basketball season. Do you see this? ECU will face Memphis, USF, Tulane, and Tulsa at home. They will travel to UAB, FAU, Rice, and UTSA, and then they will play Charlotte, North Texas, SMU, Temple, and Wichita State 2 times. First glance, how do you feel about that?
First glance, this schedule bores me to death. I'm just gonna be completely honest with you. It bores the hell out of me. We did lose some heavy hitters. Now I know we bring in some teams that did compete last year. One made a Final Four last year. Like we are bringing in some teams.
2 of those teams. I mean, 2 of those teams played in the NIT championship last year, didn't they?
Right. Like we got FAU in FAU's building. That's going to be an exciting one. North Texas twice. They were good last year. That should be an exciting one. But Memphis, of course, is going to be good. But then just looking at the rest of these, UAB, Rice. I don't think UTSA is good at basketball. Charlotte is Charlotte. SMU, Temple, Wichita State's not what they used to be. It just kind of bores me. I'm going to be honest. This schedule does kind of bore the hell out of me when I look at it. But it does leave the door open for progression for ECU. Like we might actually be on a level playing field to not only compete but get better and maybe be a heavy hitter in the conference sooner rather than later, because you did lose some of those bigger quality opponents like a Houston, like a Cincinnati. They're gone, and it kind of leaves the door open for more progression for an ECU basketball team that has never been relevant, right? So we, as a fan of ECU basketball, as a proud Pirate, I can't really sit here and complain that much because we're talking about a program that's never really been relevant. So the schedule does bore me, but I'm excited for the opportunity.
Yeah. It's a boring schedule, but just kind of looking at it, UTSA was average. They're average. Then you got, let's see, who else you got on here? Memphis is going to be all right. I don't see any team really being a top 25 team. No. Houston was the number 1 team in the country for a large portion of last year. Right. FAU is going to probably come out hot. SMU is always there. Temple always seems to give us problems. But Charlotte's a pretty decent basketball team, but I don't think they're leaps and bounds above us. Say that again.
What is decent for Charlotte though? The decent Charlotte team is like a 14, 15 win ball club. That's us. So
who wins the American? Memphis?
It's going to be between Memphis and FAU. Now, hold on. Did FAU lose all of their guys? Because I'm not sure if they're returning.
No, I'm pretty sure they got some guys returning. They got a lot of guys returning, actually.
Yeah, if they've got a lot to most of their guys returning, it's going to be between FAU and FAU made Final Four, so it's going to be between FAU and Memphis that's going to win the American next year, in my opinion. It's going to be, and
ECU wins the American next year
early. Like they're going to break away early, but I do think there is room for ECU to be extremely competitive this year. They're not going to make an ECU women's basketball jump. It's not going to be that, but I do think there is potential to make some real progressive growth this year.
Is it a hot take to say that I think that ECU could finish in the top 5 of the conference in basketball this year?
No, it's not. I don't think that's a hot take at all. But I also don't think that's saying much, truthfully.
No, it's not. But
I don't think it's saying. But no, I do think they could finish top 5. And we're talking about a program that has never been relevant. So we got to start somewhere, right? Like we gotta be able to do something.
Yeah. I mean, overall, I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy with how last year finished, but I think that this may be the year that we make the jump. You bring in that new coach from Texas Tech. Why is his name escaping me? I'm pulling it up here. You keep talking. Let's see.
I mean, do we don't know our out of conference schedule yet, do we? We haven't got.
We know a couple of them. But we don't know all of them.
But I will be honest. Like I do see quite a few wins in here, though. I mean, the Charlotte game should be a win. North Texas, we should split one of those at least. SMU's a toss up. Temple's a toss up. Wichita State should be a win. South Florida should be a win. Tulane and Tulsa, they always kind of give us a little bit of trouble. That's a toss up. But none of these, like outside of, I would say FAU and Memphis. I mean, those are the only two I'm like, yeah, I don't really think we stand a chance. The rest of them, to me, are toss ups.
Artie, I don't know why I couldn't think of this name. This name is honestly one of the most, I don't know, generic names that you could have. Mark Adams added to the coaching staff in basketball this past week.
Sounds like a founding father right there, Mark Adams.
Yeah, but I mean, he served as the head coach at Texas Tech for 2 seasons. I mean, during that time, led the Red Raiders to a Sweet 16. 27-10 in his first season, and was the Big 12 Coach of the Year by the AP. That was last year.
Yep.
Last year. We have the guy that was the 2022 Big 12 Coach of the Year by the AP. He's going to be on our coaching staff this year. Great defensive mind. I mean, I know Coach Schwartz talks very highly of him. So this coaching staff and the athleticism on this basketball team, it's getting impressive. I like the direction that this program's heading. And I mean, yeah, you lost some talent, but you've got still a fairly young team coming back next year. Let me see if I can bring Chance back in. Chance, are you back? I don't know. I see you here. Anything you want to say on basketball? Oh, Chance.
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. But if I get kicked out, top 5 is not a hot take. I like
hot take.
Yeah.
Okay.
This athleticism, like you said, Mark Adams. Some scandal. I don't want to get into the details because I don't know it all. But he's a great hire. I mean, everybody makes mistakes.
We need some scandal here in Greenville, North Carolina.
Everybody makes mistakes. I don't know what the whole detail was, but I mean, I'll take them. I mean, let's go. Let's be competitive. Let's get some guys in that want to play basketball.
I mean, yeah, and you think that we don't have to talk about it, but you think that ECU has done their research. They know what's up. They've vetted Mark Adams. They vetted this hire. They wouldn't make this hire if it was going to be something that burns them. But like I said, I've said it plenty of times, and I don't necessarily know all the details. But like sometimes you need that. You look at Larry Brown, what he did at SMU several years ago. You look at Penny Hardaway hasn't really done a damn thing at Memphis.
Right.
You look at Carolina, all the cheating scandals that they've had.
Pitino, Louisville.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you look at that. Who's the
coach?
Who's the offensive coordinator now at Texas A&M?
God.
Is that Bobby Petrino? Yeah, I think so. I mean, you got plenty of guys that are having scandals, but they're being successful, and I think we lost Chance again. Yep. Adios.
All you can do is laugh.
Yeah.
We keep it moving. We keep it moving. You know, we keep it moving. Here at the Boneyard Podcast.
I'm trying to see. I haven't heard anything really about a scandal.
Look,
Have
and
you?
you know, I haven't. I really because I don't really pay attention to Texas Tech basketball. Whatever it was, I mean, it was egregious enough for him to step down on while he was at his heights of his career at Texas Tech. But we'll take it, right? As long as he's not bringing that drama, that energy down to Greenville. And this is more of a stepping stone too. I mean, he's not going to be an assistant coach, under Schwartz for the next 5 years. He's probably going to be there for a year or two, get a stepping stone, try to help build this program, a program that has been lackluster, and then take his talent somewhere else. So we know how the game goes.
I mean, I see this. I see.
Are you about to, you said what?
I see a rumor, and I mean,
I say something bad.
It's not bad. I mean, it's bad if it's true, but
it's not bad. Only if it's true. If it's true,
I mean,
it's awful. It's not bad,
it's not like covering up years worth of hazing allegations. It's not cheating.
Ooh, shot.
It's not cheating. It's not like paying prostitutes to sleep with your recruits. It's none of that. It's not taking fake classes. It's not just
like kind of. It's not like sexual assault or anything like that.
It's not. No, it's not sexual assault. It's more of a. It's a. Is this morally right thing to do? And we won't get into it. Chance, I hadn't heard of this. Chance is back. I hadn't heard of this rumor about Mark Adams. I looked it up, and I mean,
come on, this is not a PG podcast. What the hell do you do?
All right, fine. It says that he slept with his dead brother's wife.
Yeah. Oh, I think there were some other things too. Let me see if I can find it. Unless it kicks me out.
Ooh, that hurts. As a man with a brother, that hurts.
But let's just say it's a rumor. I've only seen it from one tweet.
But that's not why he would lose his job, though. Would it? Okay,
this is from AP News. Allegedly, he invoked biblical statements to slaves. He was calling the kids slaves, and he was their master, encouraging student athletes to be more receptive to coaching.
I did not see this.
No, that sounds more like something you get fired for. That's it. That sounds like something you get fired from Texas Tech. That would be it.
But I was listening to Igo the other day, and he said ECU done all of their research. They talked to former Texas Tech players, former anybody involved with Mark Adams at any stage, and they said it didn't sound like him.
I'm sorry for even bringing this up.
Ooh. Well,
I'm sorry for bringing this up. Like I didn't think we would go down this trail. Honestly, I didn't think that this is where the conversation about the American Athletic Conference schedule would be going.
It'll lead to this.
That he slept with his dead brother's wife, and then he also said these other things about slaves, and I didn't think. But I mean, like I said, I think ECU would have done their research.
I would hope.
And cleared the air before hiring him. So, and by chance. So yeah, that.
Well,
wow.
Look, yeah, come back to me on this story. I got to do some research myself on this one.
All right. Let's move along. Let's get off this subject. Let's get onto a subject about let's talk baseball. Chance, we skipped baseball. I knew you wanted to talk about this.
Yeah.
Some big transfer news.
Fuck them.
What I'll say. Fine, Chance, you take it away.
The floor is Chance's right now.
Just fuck him. I mean, there's nothing to say. I mean, to me, it sounds like he was honestly scared of Dixon Williams. And if you look at the summer Dixon's put up, I would be scared of Dixon Williams. Only thing I want to miss is his gold glove. I'm not going to miss him standing there with 2 strikes, watching him right down the middle in the regionals and super regionals. I mean, he got replaced in the super regional championship game. I mean, you're talking about against Virginia, you get replaced in the 6th inning. I mean, 6th, 7th inning, that's terrible. So State can have him. We're going to still go bunt right down third base line anyway, so fuck them.
I mean, State fans are trying to take a victory lap on this. Congratulations. Yes, you got the 33rd best third baseman in the country, but he's our second best at ECU.
Yeah.
You're still below us. Get the fuck out of here. And
I mean, to me, the move makes no sense.
Yeah, you go down.
Yeah, I mean, people. I'm not gonna say he really went down, but I'm not putting State baseball on our level. But to me, like if you compare ECU to State baseball programs, they're kind of like in a similar region. Like if you break down regions of baseball, I feel like State and ECU are kind of like in the same bracket.
Right.
So it's a parallel move.
Made a lateral move.
All I'm gonna say is, and I don't like to talk bad about any former player, but when you leave East Carolina University and you go to that school in Raleigh, I'm going to tell you it's 2 things. One, you're scared of the competition. Okay? You're just scared of the competition. You're scared that this guy is going to take your job. And then 2, I mean, pussies attract each other in this scenario. Elliot Avent pulls in Alec Makarovich. All right? That's all there is to be said. Elliot Avent, bona fide pussy. Alec Makarovich, same. Sorry about it. And if you're an ECU fan and saying, "Oh, I'm going to support AMAC. He's a Pirate for life. Once a Pirate, always a Pirate." Bullshit. If you're one of those Pirates, bullshit. You might as well follow him down to NC State and put it on a red T-shirt yourself. Because that ain't how it works here. You're either for us or you're against us. And when you go to that school, and when you say I'm gonna be a part of that school, you're against us. Get fucked.
And he's not even from here. Like he's not from here at all. Like
he's from Florida.
Near. Yeah. Like why? If you're gonna make a move, why not go back home? You know, or go to a program that's like, hey, knocking on the door of the College World Series at like, LSU. Go somewhere you're gonna bust. You're gonna get
go to Florida. Go to Florida. Go to maybe even a Florida State. Hell,
that's what they didn't want him. They didn't fucking want him.
Go get your bat rolled at UCF.
In the Big
Central
12.
Florida. All right. Maybe then you can hit more than 11 jacks. Get the fuck out of here. Dixon Williams season.
He's going ballistic in summer. I'm going to tell you.
Just wait until NC State rolls their bitch asses up in Clark O'Clair Stadium.
I can promise you there's going to be a beer shower in right field.
Like, it is going to be insane. Like, call in extra security. Go ahead, because it's going to be nuts. And ain't nobody going to save AMAC. And Tuffy Talk, you bitch asses, I've been on your show. Your show's not that great. Look, you're probably not listening to this, but you want to call out Cliff Godwin? You wish Elliot Avent had half the size of Cliff Godwin's balls to even tweet what he tweeted. And he didn't mention AMAC. He didn't mention a player.
Wasn't bad, Jared. The tweet wasn't shit. The tweet wasn't.
Get the fuck over it. Get over it.
The tweet was nothing.
Get over it.
The tweet can never be egregious if no names were dropped. If I didn't name drop you, then it was never a bad tweet.
Exactly. And I mean, if Tuffy Talk wants to come on here and talk about it, I'll put them in their place again, like I did several times last year. Put them in their place again. I'm happy to take on all of NC State. I've taken in the last week. I've taken on NC State and App State fan bases all by myself, and I'm down to do it even more. We ride at midnight. We ride at midnight.
I will say that the app slander might be a little too much. The app slander might be a little too much. I'm all in on the state, Carolina, Duke, whatever. But app to me feels more like a gentleman's rivalry for us. I don't want to hate app. I want it to be more like a Marshall rivalry. We don't hate Marshall. It's more of a gentleman's rivalry.
No. The Marshall
fuck
the only reason the Marshall rivalry
is the thing is because of the plane. Is the only reason.
Yeah. The only reason we care about Marshall is because the plane crashed. I'm sorry. That's the only reason it's a rivalry.
I mean,
respectfully, like, in all of it, respect.
Yeah, and we say it time and time again.
Really hate App State like that.
It's a rivalry built off of love.
Because they think they're special and they're 35,000, however many people can fit in that small ass stadium.
Glorified high school football stadium. They had a tracker.
I seen some app dude on Twitter today, and it pissed me off. I had to sit there and not DM him, but he had a visual of all of our average attendance from like the last 10 years.
I saw that.
But our average attendance would sell out their small ass stadium, even when we're 3-8. Like nobody cares.
Yeah, get the hell out of here, app. Y'all ain't shit. You ain't shit.
Now, granted, you better pray Coach Houston and his football team backs this shit up come football season.
No, it's still fuck. It's still fuck app either way. I mean, I don't care.
Yeah, at the end of the day, ECU's fan base is a better fan base than App State's fan base, but
my whole point is, I don't give a fuck about having a better fan base. I want a better football program. That's what I want. I want a better football program.
I agree. I want a better football program too, and I really don't think. I mean, they play in the 8th best conference, 7th best conference. While, in my opinion, the American is still a top 5, top 6 conference. The American is still above the Sun Belt. No way. You can't convince me otherwise.
We're going to find out this year. We're
going to find out when ECU goes into app, beats their bitch ass, and beats Marshall's bitch ass. We're going to find it out. Charlotte has a win over the Sun Belt last year. Rice has a win over the Sun Belt last year. ECU stomped Coastal Carolina in the bowl game, who was their runner-up. Get out of here. The Sun Belt ain't shit. The Sun Belt ain't shit, Artie. We ride at midnight.
I got nothing to add. I can't even add nothing to it.
Let's move on. Let's talk some football now. Breaking news. Not really breaking. The news kind of came out about 5 or 6 hours ago. Rajay Harris has announced that he was fully cleared to return to football.
Yes, sir.
Tweeted that out. So 1%, Rajay. Yeah, I mean, coming back from a torn ACL, got to think that he's going to be the number 2 on the depth chart to start the season behind Marlon Gunn, just while he's still getting up to speed. And I mean, everybody knows that when you come back from an ACL injury, you're cleared, but you can't just go full speed into it.
Right.
But I got to think that
running back week 1.
Yeah, I got to think that ECU's training staff has done right by him and has made sure that he could push it to 100% if he needed to.
Hey, we got one of the best strength and conditioning coaches in the country. So
Big John.
Rajay is good. Big John got them boys right. All right. So he's going to be all right.
Yeah. And some other news on Michigan has passed a new law allowing alcohol to be sold at college games. So the big house is going to be overflowing. Pirate Nation, get there. Some other big news. Artie, did you see R&D Brewing is making a pirate brew, an ECU beer?
I did not know that. Wow. So much like what they have at State, they're going to make us our own version?
State is is it New Belgium?
Is that who does it? New Belgium?
R&D does the Hurricanes, the Canes Brew.
Okay.
From my understanding, the Pirate Brew is going to be the same thing as Canes Brew, just in Pirate in ECU. Yeah, in an ECU can.
Nice.
But that's still better than the Bud Light cans that they used to come out with, the ECU Bud Light cans. Even though those things did hit, just took me about 12 of them to start filling anything. And then lastly, on football, before we get into some other news, ECU is listed as the toughest schedule in the American Athletic Conference and 65th hardest schedule in the country based on Phil Still's magazine. Guys, what are your thoughts on this?
Oh, it's tough.
It's a tough schedule. It's not easy. It is definitely not. We have a gauntlet in the front end, and we got a little bit of a gauntlet in the back end. So it's not an easy schedule whatsoever. And we're gonna see what these boys are made of this year. We're gonna see what these coaches are made of too.
Yeah, I mean, there's no easy out really on this schedule. We're going through the schedule. But next, let's talk about. Let's go ahead and do the preview of the tight ends, and we can talk about some of the other cleanup stuff at the back end. Let's preview these tight ends. So the tight end room, yes, you lose Ryan Jones, a big performer on the offense over the last 2 years. Got Shane Calhoun, who's kind of been like the Robin to Ryan Jones being the Batman. Your thoughts on Shane Calhoun, the 6'3" junior, 242 pounds?
I'll be right back. Hold on.
This is Shane Calhoun's world, and everybody else is living in it. He's going to be the guy. He's definitely going to be the guy, the main tight end. I look at the other guys. I look at the other pieces. I think we do like Tyler Savage. That's somebody that we were talking about last year as someone who can make a big jump at wide receiver. Didn't pan out at wide receiver. He makes the jump from wide receiver to tight end. I'm still bullish on Tyler Savage. Still think that he could be anything and everything he wants to be in this program, and he's going to have the opportunity to do it. Antonio Ferguson is a freshman. He's probably going to redshirt. So I mean, it's really not going to be on him. Again, it's Shane Calhoun's world. He's going to be the guy. He's going to be the next Ryan Jones we expect to see step up and be that kind of security blanket for Mason Garcia.
Yeah,
we need a big year out of Shane. We need it.
And he showed glimpses of it last year. I mean, he's played in 32 games, starting 26 of them in his 3-year career. 48 receptions, 475 yards, and 4 touchdowns. That's not considering we didn't have a tight end. Right. 4 years ago, 5 years ago, when Mike Houston came into the program, to have Ryan Jones, who where did he end up with the Giants?
I think he's still trying to make the roster right now.
But
I mean, tight.
Considering you transitioned a linebacker into your top end tight end, and then behind him you have Shane Calhoun, who's 6'3", 242 pounds, and putting up decent numbers and running two tight ends where you're
playing behind other studs, catching the ball.
Yeah. I mean,
I think that's good for him though. He sat behind Jones, and
I think so too.
Had to deal with CJ, Isaiah. I mean, there's a lot of weapons last year, and when he got the ball and he made plays with it. Yep. So I think it's setting him up. I think that might be Mason's favorite receiver this year going into it. Michigan's going to be tough. So I know this is off target, but nobody after the Michigan game, we don't need to hear about it because, I mean, you're playing the probably first or second best defense in the country. So let these guys play Michigan and just get ready for week 2. Go ahead and get it out.
I say open up the playbook against Michigan, to be honest with you. I think that's one of those games you open up the playbook. You're not going in there expecting anything. Open up the playbook up there. Throw it around the yard. Do what you got to do. See what works. See what doesn't work. Open up the playbook when you go to Ann Arbor.
Yeah. And don't be afraid to try different matchups, try different I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, they might be the best D-line in the country, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. They're the best D-line in the country.
They're absolutely yes. They're stacked. They're 100% stacked.
All right. Well, as Artie goes and changes his underpants, we're gonna move on to the University of Texas San Antonio. Guys,
hey, but you see what I got on though. Don't play me. You see what I got on.
What, your ECU? You got your ECU shirt on, ECU hat on. We'll just see what you're wearing September 2nd.
I'm black. I told you I'm wearing black. I'm not wearing Michigan I'm just showing up to the game. Just going to enjoy myself.
You're just now realizing that? I'm kidding.
I set myself up for that one. That was good. Jared. I like that one.
Off the top.
I like that one. Moving on.
All right. UTSA win 11-3 last year, 9-0 in the Conference USA. They're back-to-back Conference USA championship program. So got a lot returning on both sides of the ball. The biggest key to me on the offensive side of the ball, they got their fifth-year quarterback, Frank Harris, threw for 4,000 yards last year, 32 touchdowns.
Absurd. Absurd.
Now, he did lose his number one target. I hope I'm saying this right. Zachary Franklin. He transferred to Ole Miss. Like I said, they got 9 returning starters. This was the number 12 offense in the country last year.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are back.
And I think one of the big things is that they're returning, if not all, most of their O-line too. So an O-line that was already good is already coming back. And they got their starting quarterback. Really, that's all. I mean, even if you do lose a number one wide receiver, you got your O-line is solid, your quarterback is solid. The running back that played last year is supposed to have a breakout year this year, from what they say. So that offense is going to be fine-tuned and poised again. This is one of the matchups I'm really excited for. UTSA is one I got circled as a top 3 matchup for ECU, in my opinion. Out of all the teams we play next year, the UTSA game is what I'm really excited for, because they're going to come in right away and challenge a Tulane for a conference championship. And so that is a team that we say, okay, we go in there, we have to give them our best shot. We have to see how we kind of compare to a UTSA, who's been the class, one of the teams that's been the class of the group of 5 over the last few years, 30-10 over the last 3 years, back-to-back conference USA championships. The Road Runners have been that team. So I'm very, very excited for this matchup against UTSA.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited about it. This is the one that probably scares me the most out of the gauntlet of the 3 conference opponents, SMU, Tulane, and UTSA. Now the one thing that I will say, if they have a weak spot, their weak spot's on defense. That they're not that huge up front. They've got a decent secondary, but nobody that's going to really stand out to you. They've got, once again, a lot of returning starters, but I just, their defense, like they gave up some big time games last year. And it's a lot of the same guys. Do they take a step forward? Probably. But once again, they're also playing tougher competition for the most part. Making the jump from Conference USA to the American. So, yeah, we'll just have to see. But I do think, this offense is probably going to be – this offense may be the best offense in the conference, and quite possibly the group of 5.
Absolutely.
So let's run through their schedule and see how we feel about it. Start off week 1 at Houston. I remember that game last year. I'm trying to remember who won that game. I think Houston won it on.
Is that the one that went to all those overtimes?
I think I know it went to overtime. I don't know how many overtimes it went to, but I think Houston won by 1. That's going to be at 7:00 Saturday night under the lights in Houston. That's 7 Eastern time. What's that? 6:00 Central time. So
yeah, still prime time.
That's on FS1. Yeah, I mean that's a primetime game, in-state rival. Then they come back home, play Texas State. That should be a dub.
Yep.
So I mean, I honestly they're probably 2-0 after week 2. Week 3 they play Army. On a Friday night, play Army. That's a win.
Yep.
Week 4, Artie.
Go Vols.
I wish I could be on Rocky Top, Tennessee.
I'm gonna watch this one. UTSA at Tennessee. I'll be watching that one. Definitely.
That's a statement game right there.
Yeah.
That's a statement game. I mean, that could be a pretty big non-conference matchup. One of the last weeks of non-conference play in the season.
Look, I still go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say Tennessee still wins that game. They're still, because Tennessee's still gonna be really good. They do got Joe Milton, the former Michigan quarterback, for 20 seconds. And he's a pretty good quarterback. But yeah, Tennessee's still gonna win that game. But if UTSA can keep that close, if UTSA can go into Knoxville and scare Tennessee a little bit, then that lets you know what kind of football program they got down there in San Antonio. So,
yeah, for sure. And then their conference slate isn't that hard. To be honest with you, their conference slate isn't hard at all. I mean, their second hardest game is probably East Carolina, maybe Florida Atlantic, depending on whether you put them in the tiers. October 7th, they play at Temple. Then they come home. They have UAB at home.
Yeah.
That should be a dub.
Going to take a step back a little bit.
Florida Atlantic, you got to go on the road, but I mean, you're going into an empty stadium.
Mm-hmm.
That's a dub. Then you host East Carolina. Look,
they got a 4-week stretch, right, of ECU, North Texas, Rice, and South Florida. I mean, that's a beautiful way to end your season, because ECU, I mean, you got Tulane their last game, but ECU, and then you got probably 3 straight dubs after that. That's a beautiful way to kind of end the season right there. Yeah, that stretch is nice.
I mean, let's just say, I mean, I see them being 9-2. 9-3. Sorry, I can't do math. 10-2.
Yeah. I think I see 9-3.
I mean,
I do, because
maybe one of these games they get, I don't know, maybe one of these games they get snuck up on. Maybe it's ECU. Who knows?
We can hope.
But
we can hope.
Like I said, I think ECU wins 2 out of 3 of those games. And why not that one? So, but yeah, North Texas, Rice, and USF. I mean, those 3 games 2 of them are at home. Your second toughest game on the schedule is you got to go to Tulane. Like, you got some tough road games. Don't get me wrong. You got some tough road games.
You got at Tulane, at Tennessee, at Houston, which could be all 3 of their losses. So
yeah. So, all right. So Artie, do they play for the American Conference Championship year 1? I think so.
Do. Yeah, I think they do.
Because
they return so much experience, and they've got a young coach too that doesn't get the kind of credit he deserves. I think he's going to be out the door in the next couple of years. He's going to get a big time offer at a big time program. I think UTSA is playing for a conference championship year 1.
Yeah. Sorry, Chance, I didn't see that you were back.
Oh no, I dropped a new laptop. Got to do something.
And he's back again.
Oh, am I here?
You're here, Chance.
Okay.
Okay. Your thoughts on UTSA, quick before you drop again.
They're going to be good. They're going to be really good. I mean, Tennessee's an L. Tulane, that's probably one of the most best matchups in the American next year, and it's at Tulane late in the year. So, I mean, they're probably battling for maybe the number 1 seed in the championship game. I mean, I think
you're probably battling for New Year's Bowl too.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna be good. I mean, Frank Harris. I mean, he's been there a long time. He's like Colton Ehlers. He's
right.
been there.
5th year, right?
He's really good. They got he's old. So I mean, what else can you want from a team that's jumping conference? I mean, you look good this year. The way the portal is, guys are going to play there. You keep winning, fans keep coming. That's how you get really good transfers. So I mean, they're setting themselves up for a lot of really good football.
And it helps that they are in a big market. I mean, San Antonio is a big city with a lot of people in it. So it helps that they're in San Antonio.
For sure. All right. Anything else? So we all agree they're playing for a conference championship year 1.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to be good.
Y'all got to walk the plank other than Alec Makarovich?
I do. Yeah. I do actually have to, other than AMAC.
All right. Go ahead.
Mine is ding dong, the wicked witch is dead. Thank God the Washington Commanders are getting rid of their god-awful owner in Dan Snyder. Just an out of touch, out of whack owner. He's been god-awful for God
3
knows
name
how
changes
long.
and 2 playoff wins, baby.
Right. Like, he's just one of those guys, just real rich guys who's out of touch, not in tune with reality. I don't even think he likes football. He doesn't even look the kind of guy that like actually loves sitting and watching football. He doesn't love the product that he actually owns. So fuck Dan Snyder. Happy the sale is going through. Hopefully the Commanders can actually be relevant again. Football is better when Washington has a good football team. It just is. Washington is one of those bigger markets. I think football is better when Washington's better. So walk the damn plank, Dan Snyder. Hope he never come back.
Chance?
We said no AMAC, but mine's going to be every fan that thinks this is okay. If you think this is okay, walk the damn plank and don't come back. We don't want you if you think this is okay. I mean, I just don't get it. I mean, so if you don't like me, fuck you. I mean, you don't think it's the right choice, fuck you. I mean, I don't care.
My only caveat to that is he is just a college kid. All right, don't beat this man up like he's a grown ass man. This year. He is just a college kid. Like,
he's a grown ass man. That man's older than me. He's a grown ass man.
I mean, he's grown.
He's been,
but not really.
He's been in college for a long ass time. He's a grown ass man. He knew what he was doing.
But I agree with you. I do agree with you.
All right, mine's gonna be. Did y'all see the new Indianapolis Colts jerseys?
Yeah.
Uniforms.
Football, baby.
Like, I'm a Falcons fan, and I thought our jerseys were god awful. These new Indianapolis Colts jerseys are. they look like they look like the University of Buffalo.
To me, it was like Duke. Have you seen the black Duke helmet with the blue D and the blue top? That is what it reminds me of. It looks just
but it's
like
all blue. It's all blue.
Yeah, it's so.
Like you remember when they did like the color. What was it?
They do it like Duke University.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like Duke
what was
University.
the color? What was the color thing? Color Rush that they did several years ago, where they wore like monochrome jerseys.
Yeah.
Some of them
helmets.
Mustard versus ketchup.
Yeah, when you had the red and green game.
The Black Panthers one is so gas. The only Panthers.
Yeah, that was fire. That was beautiful.
Those red Falcons.
The new blue ones are kind of gas. Nah, fuck them.
I wish, honestly.
Get out of here, Chance.
The fact that the Falcons don't do their throwbacks as their permanent jerseys with the throwback helmet.
Like the throwbacks are gas.
Those are
so gas. Oh my god.
That's a really good look. That's a great look.
With that old school Falcons on the side.
Desmond Ritter throwing 4 interceptions, that would look so good.
Like when they wear those, I'm like, I'm looking at this shit is fire.
Keep talking your shit, Chance. Did y'all see that?
No, it's I'm telling you, Taylor Heineke is he's taking the job.
Did y'all see that the NFL tweeted it? They were gonna play the whole video of Super Bowl 51, like play it front to back, and then Falcons fans bullied them into taking it down.
Yeah.
Hey, look, that's y'all's problem, bro. That's an Atlanta problem. Ain't nobody else's fault.
People say that the Falcons have no fan base. That fan base can get after it on Twitter if you're in the right circles.
They're getting after Desmond Ridder after week 1.
Yeah, I still don't agree with drafting Desmond Ridder, but here we are.
No, it made no sense.
All right. Some final thoughts ECU announced 4 new inductees into the ECU Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Of course, the late great voice Jeff Charles was inducted into the ECU Hall of Fame alongside Justine Allpress, Roderick Coleman, and former ECU pitcher Seth Maness. And then also today it was announced that ECU alumni and former, I guess now, Duke baseball, Duke women's basketball, play-by-play voice Chris Edwards is going to be the new director of broadcasting and the new voice of Pirate Nation. We're already talking with Chris's representatives and his representation to get him on the podcast in the coming weeks. So stay tuned for that. Guys, anything else? Did we miss anything? What an episode.
Yeah,
I don't think
we hit it
so.
all.
Yeah. You said bring the energy. I think we brought it. Once I got the new laptop.
Yeah, we're bringing the energy from now on. Last week I felt last week was the first time we recorded late.
In a while. Yeah.
This week is the second time we're recording late. We're getting used to it. We're bringing the energy. I was worried about waking my daughter up, my 10-week-old daughter last week.
I was just about to ask, how is my goddaughter doing? Is baby Scarlett all right?
She's all right. She did not want to sleep last night.
Of course not.
Mom and dad are tired. Other than that, she's doing pretty good. A lot of poopy diapers. A lot of blowouts. But yeah, I don't want to hear about that on the podcast. If you want to hear about poopy diapers, go watch NC State football. That's really all I got. Make sure you subscribe. Subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcast, Spotify Podcast. Give us a follow at Boneyard Podcast on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. If you didn't see, and if you know somebody, send them our way. We're looking for a graphic designer. We're looking for either somebody to do some freelance work for us. We also may be looking for a graphic design intern. Once again, another unpaid spot, but it's a spot nonetheless, and you can build up your portfolio and work with some cool cats and Artie. So yeah,
because I'm better than a cool cat, so I appreciate
you
saying
straight.
Dude,
I seen one of the guys in the
hot
DMs
dog
on Twitter.
What's that?
We land that guy. I seen a guy in the DMs on Twitter earlier. We find a way to get that guy in here.
We got some magic happening. We got some magic happening, and guys, we're gonna drop a big time announcement next week. Next week on the Boneyard Podcast. If you're still listening to this, next week on the Boneyard Podcast is going to be the biggest announcement of the Boneyard Podcast in the Boneyard Podcast history. That's why we're hiring. That's why we're bringing on people, is we need people for this big time announcement. And we've done a pretty good job at keeping this one a secret, and I'm stoked.
Excited.
I'm stoked. Leave us a 5-star review. If you don't, walk the damn plank. Artie, let's get out of here.
Hey, as always, Pirate Nation, we love you. Till next time, wash your hands, wash your butts. Deuce.